Come on in the room, good people. Come on in the room, good people. It's a great day. Paul Atkins has opening statements at the SEC roundtable today, and I want to share his opening statements with you all. And from his opening statements, it is very clear that regulatory clarity for not just crypto assets, but XRP is coming very soon. Now, Paul Atkins did not directly mention Ripple or XRP, but we don't need him to. If crypto assets have regulatory clarity, well, XRP is a crypto asset, is it not? And the SEC and Ripple are involved on a world stage, are they not? And this lawsuit is about the clarity of XRP, is it not? And so from reading these statements, I'm very excited and bullish. I believe that Paul Atkins is going to have a definitive statement when they put out their case report that should be coming out now in, I don't know exactly how many days, maybe like 55 days or something like that. Got to look at it. But we should have some statements that are going to bring some clarity to XRP. And we need to hear this come from the SEC. We need to hear this come from the SEC. And so this is great news. And I'm going to read these statements in just a second, but when you understand this, when you come away understanding his commitment to regulatory clarity, here's the good part. What are the facts? That the SEC and Ripple have reached a settlement. And it is also a fact that Brad Garlinghouse said from the very beginning, we will settle immediately and when and only when the SEC is ready to admit one thing, that XRP is not a security. So because they've reached a settlement, we can safely assume that the SEC does not believe that XRP is a security. And with Paul Atkins' statements that I'm about to read about his commitment to regulatory clarity, I can't imagine a situation where we are leaving this lawsuit without a definitive statement that brings clarity to XRP from the SEC. So it's great to see this. Mind you, we are in day one of his first public statements as SEC chair. You see how early we are? We're early, people. But I'm going to go ahead and read the statements. It's not a long read at all. These are his opening statements. Welcome to the third roundtable of the SEC's Crypto Task Force. I am in my fourth day back at the commission and thank my fellow commissioners and the SEC staff for their warm welcome. I'm eager to tackle long festering issues such as regulatory treatment of digital assets and distributed ledger technologies. In addition, my warmest personal thanks go to Commissioner Pierce at her principled and tireless advocacy for common sense crypto policy within the United States. It is no wonder that she has earned the title of Crypto Mom. Commissioner Pierce is the right person to lead the effort to come up with a rational regulatory framework for crypto asset markets. Thank you to the panelists for volunteering their time and expertise. This is important work as entrepreneurs across the United States. This is important work as, entrepreneurs across the United States are harnessing blockchain technology to modernize aspects of our financial system. I expect huge benefits from this market innovation for efficiency, cost reduction, transparency, and risk mitigation. Now, that's a whole mouthful right there, and I've got to stop to talk about why. Let's read the statement again. He says it is his expectation that huge benefits from this market innovation, what innovation? Crypto innovation, is going to bring 5 things in our global payment markets. It's going to bring efficiency, cost reduction, transparency, and risk mitigation. 4 things, my bad, right? So ask yourself, what coins are going to bring efficiency, cost reduction, transparency, and risk mitigation? Well, that doesn't sound like Bitcoin, does it? Is Bitcoin going to bring efficiency to our global payment system, to this new system? No, it's not. It's not efficient. Not enough for payments, not enough for cross-border payments, remittances, the type of payments we're going to need to transact volumes in the trillions when all these derivatives become digital, right? So also this last one, risk mitigation. Understanding the news that recently came out, the CME group, they have announced XRP Futures for May 19th. Now, to understand why this is so big, CME Group is the global place for all derivatives, futures, the stock market, everything. All this value that they have is going to be tokenized, and they already have some futures, but they're going to do XRP futures. These, when it comes to futures, institutions who buy futures, they're going to do it for one of 2 reasons. Either they're speculating on the price, or they're doing it specifically for risk management. Futures are known for their risk management components when it comes to why institutions buy them. And he's talking about this risk management, and we had that announcement just come out. What was it, yesterday, about the XRP futures with the CME group? So that's huge. Let me continue on to what he was saying. Market participants engaging with this technology deserve clear regulatory rules of the road. Boom. Boom. Innovation has been stifled for the last several years due to market and regulatory uncertainty. And unfortunately, the SEC has fostered. I'm glad he took that. We know that's not his fault, but it's now his responsibility, right? Because he's the SEC. He's over the SEC. We all know wasn't his fault. But now he's the new chairman, and he's taking responsibility, and he's going to make it right. He continues, he says, I look forward to engaging with market participants and working with colleagues in President Trump's administration and Congress to establish a rational fit for purpose regulatory frame. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. To establish a rational fit for purpose regulatory framework for crypto assets. Today's roundtable is focused on the challenges SEC registrants face when attempting to safely custody crypto assets for their customers in compliance with the federal securities laws. For example, there are changes needed to the custody rules under the Exchange Act, Advisors Act, or Investment Company Act to accommodate crypto assets and blockchain technology. Is the special purpose broker-dealer regime workable for market participants, or is a new crypto asset broker-dealer framework needed? The market itself seems to indicate that the current framework badly needs attention. You all can help give us direction. Thank you all for dedicating your Friday afternoon and helping us address these important issues. I look forward to a productive discussion. All right, so those were his opening statements. To my understanding, I believe the roundtable is still going on, but wanted to just read those opening statements because, hey, I like that. I like that. Throughout, if you could summarize his entire deal, it is a commitment to regulatory certainty. It is an understanding that innovation needs to flourish. And it is also a realization he admits rather that the SEC, the previous administration, we all know, has been the hindrance. And this has affected market participants in this ecosystem, and he's ready to right the ship. So I'm glad to see it. I cannot wait to read the SEC's final draft, whatever this last thing they got to file in the lawsuit. I believe it's going to give clarity for XRP. What do y'all think? What's happening? We got people in the place. Got the usual suspects in the building. Strong Mountain was good, my guy. Daniel Olson, do you believe XRP will have full regulatory clarity to be used as a cross-border payment system for banks and financial institutions by the end of the year? That is my hope, Daniel, because it is my hope. Well, we know within I keep saying within 60 days, but that was like 3, 4, 5 days ago when I put this out. But sometime by June, okay, just estimating, or before. So sometime in June or before, anytime, it could be anytime before, the SEC is expected to put out whatever this case report that they have to finalize with the judge, helping the judge understand the details behind why you all have settled. Okay. So if this gives XRP clarity, which we expect it does, and then that continues on, spills over to Congress, and they draft is, we already have some bills that have gone through the House that still haven't gone through the Senate. So if things get pushed through the Senate and the president signs these things, and that happens by this year, let's say best case scenario, sometime in September, then yes, that's what regulatory clarity means. Legislation is written. The lawsuit is over. And now all the banks, all the institutions that XRP was designed for have the rules in place, the guidelines in place, the structure in place, so that they can compliantly and legally engage with these assets. When that day comes, that's what's going to bring XRP into the prices that everybody's hoping for, because that's when the banks will use these things. That's when the largest institutions with the trillions, tens of trillions, and hundreds of trillions of dollars will be able to start throwing these flows into XRP. Think about it. When we're talking about that multiplier effect, that 1 to 500 multiplier effect, what would happen to XRP's price once tens of trillions of dollars of inflows are thrown at the XRP ledger with a 500 to 1 multiplier effect? Now, I'm not saying the multiplier effect will always be 1 to 500. I'm just saying so far that's what the math has been showing. And so we don't know what exactly would be in different situations, but just understand, people, the thought alone, even if it's 100 multiplier, people just don't get why I think XRP is going to be at 5 digits one day. Kadeem Hammonds in the building. What's going on? The new will probably go live in November. Regulations will probably be announced in August, more than likely. Bruh, that would be wonderful. The sooner, the better, right? Bruce, what's happening, my brother? He said, any thoughts on future price of XRP versus Zebek network? Thinking of ditching these for more XRP. I don't know anything about the Zebek network. I haven't studied the Zebek network. However, I do know a lot about XRP. And if you're going to ask that question for yourself, here's how you do it. Look at the Zebek network and answer yourself this one question. What problem is the Zebek network solving for the world? You need to answer that question. And answer the same question for XRP. What problem is the XRP ledger solving for the world? And when you do your research, whichever token is solving the biggest problem, that's going to bring the most value into it due to the problem it's solving, that's the one you go with, in my opinion. That's how you do it, right? Because I could give you my opinion, but I could be wrong. But what's better is when you have a conviction for yourself. And you have to understand, when it comes to conviction, when it comes to investing in these tokens, it's not about, okay, which one is about to go up, which one, trying to make the quick, that's how people do. They jump in with the herd, and I'm not saying you're doing that, Bruce. I'm just saying, generally speaking, when people are looking for an investment, they're looking for something quick. They want to catch the next wave. They want to get to the next pump. And of course, everybody wants to make money, but when it comes to long-term holding, you have to understand it's a totally different philosophy. It's an understanding of how the problem that is being solved, how that will be in the future, how that's going to affect markets. And when you can see that discrepancy over a period of some years, you have a home run. That's how Warren Buffett has made all of his money. Being able to make long-term investments, being able to analyze a company and find intrinsic value in a company that the market doesn't see yet. It takes work to do something like that. It takes research and understanding to do something like that. Not just asking somebody, hey, which coin you think is better? Okay, I'm gonna buy that one. Disco R1, what's happening, my guy? It's crazy that much that the old SEC held things, how they held things back. But some people would say it's all by design, right? A lot of people would say all of this has been by design. And honestly, I think that's a part of it. These banks, especially in the United States, we were so far behind. And many of the banks, especially like JP Morgan, they were very stubborn, and they were like, they're chilling. We the top dogs. We don't have to go jump and hop and skip. We can do, you know what I'm saying? But now they're being humbled a little bit. And they're realizing, oh snap, we better adopt this technology, right? That's the idea behind the thing. So they had to slow XRP down because it was not going to be stopped. And they did that shit. They did that. You know what I'm saying? They did that. But hey, in the grand scheme of things, thank God they did. You know why? Because I benefited off of that too. The banks, the major people at the top and behind the scenes that had an interest in slowing XRP down, hey, I benefited off of that, because I would have never been able to accumulate the XRP that I currently hold had it not been for the lawsuit, had it not been for a cheap XRP in a time where I was fortunate to have come across it and then do some research in it because a friend of mine told me. I'm so glad I listened. I'm so glad I did my own research. And because I have my own conviction, it just spews out of me naturally. So I created a YouTube channel to talk about it. But yeah, man, it's crazy how they've slowed things up. He's MJ on that injunction. Not sure what you're talking about, unless you're talking about the court case. We expect that the injunction will be lifted. Let's see. Kadeem, he said, don't ditch Zebek or XRP, Bruce. The IMF new project is based around both coins. Interesting. So he's more knowledgeable about that than I am. You're welcome, Bruce. Or I don't know if you sent thanks to Kadeem or thanks to me. Probably Kadeem, because he gave him his opinion on the coin. Andy, what's happening? Let me know when I can use my XRP like employees, because I'm done with this 9-to-5 crap. Say, bro, I feel you. I totally feel you. I totally understand. Bruce Fame, passive income is my goal. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%, brother. That's what we're all in this for. Passive income. Passive income. I think there is nothing greater that any of us can do than earn passive income off of our crypto. Period. Now on this channel, I'm for the most part, I only talk about XRP for the most part when it comes to cryptos. But understanding just how XRP itself, and there'll be other cryptos as well, but we're talking about XRP, how XRP just being held can bring you yield. You don't have to sell it. That's what people need to understand. You don't have to sell XRP to capitalize on wealth. Selling XRP is not the best thing to do. Now, if you have to sell it for certain personal reasons, that's do what you got to do. No one's talking about that. But just in general, the XRP that you buy, you want to hold on to it for as long as you can and live off the interest that it bears. That way, you get the appreciating value of XRP over time. And as that XRP continues to appreciate, guess what? Your interest payments go up with it. So imagine not just, Bruce mentioned passive income. Imagine not just having passive income, but that passive income is growing all by itself. It's not just steadily coming. It's growing like a snowball as your underlying asset continues to appreciate. Now, that's the type of passive income the world has never really seen. But that's what we're going to experience with XRP. Know what you hold, people. Know what you hold. I'm so glad y'all are rocking with me. I wish I could stay on here longer. I want to read these comments. I really do. But your boy got to go. I got to get in these streets, and I got to go dash for some more XRP, man. So I appreciate everybody being on here. Come rock with me tomorrow, right around this same time, maybe a little earlier. Going to do another live. The lives will most likely be about 20 minutes. If you need Cryptex contracts, I keep telling this to people. And the reason I do this is so that my email box stays manageable. I want to respond to everybody's email. So that's why I talk about some of these things in the videos before I get off. But if you need Cryptex contracts, I answer so many questions in the how-to video. Have you seen the how-to video? If you haven't, please watch it. It's pinned in the description of this video. It's an easy explanation, tells you exactly what to do to purchase your Cryptex contracts. All right. So please watch the video if you need further explanation about that. Now, if you watch the video and you still got questions, of course, email me. I got you. All right. But other than that, if you want to join the Discord group, we are meeting twice a week. We have some amazing people in the Discord group, and we're having a great time. The meeting we had last night was insane. You know what I'm saying? I knew about some of the roundtable stuff before it was made to the public. But anyway, it's a great group of people, and you want to come on in the room. The patron is in the description as well if you want to be a part of the Discord group. It will give you access to all the Zoom invitations and also links of the recorded Zooms that you can watch at your leisure if you miss a Zoom. All right, people, I got to get out of here. Thank y'all so much for rocking with your boy. This is Cornelius Jones, 10 Minute Investing. I'm signing off. Y'all have a blessed one, and I'll see you on the next video.